Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time, as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. And welcome to Smash Saturday, where I talk about all things Smash related until we get a new Smash game, whether that be Smash 6 or Smash Ultimate Deluxe. Today I want to talk about characters that I would change for Smash Ultimate Deluxe, buffs that I would like to give to specific characters that I think could really use it. Now, for a Smash Ultimate Deluxe, I don't expect a lot of overhauls, though a lot of characters definitely need it. Some of these characters on this list definitely could use an overhaul, but I won't be touching on every single character that needs a buff because I think there are plenty. I looked at the Smash Ultimate official tier list, as it were, and I picked a bunch of ones from there. Some that I won't be talking about are like King K. Rool, who's been really showing up lately, and I think is pretty good overall. I think there are definitely things that could change about the character, and I do love the character, but I'm not going to be including him, not going to be including Bowser Jr., Ike, Villager, or Isabelle, Kirby. I think Kirby's super good. I don't actually think he's as low as the tier list suggests. Not touching me Sword Fighter because I don't care about the character, or Zelda as well. I think a lot of these characters could just use either overhauls or big changes. So I think that mostly they're okay where they are. They don't need to be majorly buffed. So with that out of the way, I want to talk about some of the characters I think could use major buffs going into Smash Ultimate, especially in lieu of like a massive overhaul. Let's talk about the first one, which is going to be Ganondorf. This is a character I think is the poster boy for needs an overhaul. This character started off as a clone of Captain Falcon in Smash Bros. Melee, where he was arguably his best iteration as well in terms of competitive viability and results. And he definitely just feels like a clone of Captain Falcon that's been tweaked over time. I think his smash attacks are great. I don't really think they need much change. They're kind of slow, but they hit like a truck. I think that's fine. They can stay the same. Same with his aerials. They're actually pretty darn good. What could use a big change if they're going to keep the same design and just change a few things, he could be faster and give him some more airspeed. I think those would go a long way to make the character feel a lot better, especially off stage. This character has arguably the worst recovery in the game. In fact, I'm going to say easily the worst recovery in the game because he can't side B and up B like Little Mac. He can't get as much horizontal distance like Doc can. His airspeed is just really, really bad. So if you give him some more speed and airspeed, I think that would go a long way. And speaking of which, I think he should be able to side B and up B. I don't think Captain Falcon should, but I think he should be able to. If you do that, suddenly Ganondorf has a lot more mix-up options off stage. I think that would go a long way into improving him in ways that we just have not been able to see for him so far. He's just been really, really bad. I think that's pretty much all. Though I would love to give him a kill throw as well. I think giving him a forward kill throw makes the most sense. Improving that by a significant margin. Just make his give one of his throws a lot of power, because the fact that he's so bad and doesn't have a kill throw is pretty awful. Also give his down throws some more hit stun so he can combo out of it a little bit easier. I think that would help him a lot as well. Give him some kill confirms out of his down throw. So let's move on to another character, which is going to be King DDD. This is another heavy I think could use a lot of work. DDD is one of those few that I think can do a lot but can't win very much. He's primarily relegated to like a counter pick character for very specific matchups. He does well against just some random characters, but he is not a solo competitive character in any regard. There are definitely some people that have done a lot of work with him, but he just doesn't feel like a great character in Ultimate. They've even given him some buffs. I think changing Gordo around, since that is his central game plan, I don't know how we do it. Maybe make the hitbox bigger, maybe make the startup of the attack faster so that he can get stuff set up easier. I'm not sure what needs to happen there, but Gordo probably could use some improvements to make him better. I also think his airspeed could be like the biggest thing that he needs to actually be much better. His airspeed is absolutely abysmal. And it's kind of like a Kirby situation where he has a lot of jumps, and so giving him a lot of airspeed maybe isn't the best idea. But I feel like a character like DDD just really needs it. He's so bad off stage despite having the ability to get back from almost anywhere. The fact that you can track him really easily because he doesn't jump very high and he can't move horizontally very well, it's just really easy to trap him. So I think that would go a long way for the character. Next up, I'm going to be talking about Simon. I think Simon and Richter have the potential to be really good characters. I don't think they're bad by any means, but their recovery is just so lackluster, especially when it comes to the tether recovery. Like other characters like Byleth and Min Min have crazy tethers, Joker as well, but his tether is just really abysmal. He doesn't have much range. I'm sometimes surprised by how far he can make it back from, but I think they should increase his tether range substantially. I think that would be a huge thing for him and make his up B go a lot higher. I don't see why it's so low. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me why it doesn't go very far. I don't know. I think that would do a lot for the character because recovery-wise, this character is awful. Instead of giving him an airspeed boost like I would for DDD, I think giving him some more recovery options would go a long way for the character because he is really good at trapping. He has probably the best ledge trapping in the entire game. He can do so many crazy setups. So I don't think he needs a whole lot to be a lot better, and I think recovery is the biggest thing to hit here. Next, I want to talk about Little Mac. Now, I think Little Mac is actually very good. I think his spot at like the very bottom of the tier list, right above Ganondorf, is very misleading because we have seen Peanut and Tarakatori do very, very good things with this character. I think the character is actually pretty darn good, but I do think this character could benefit from recovery buffs as well. First and foremost, why doesn't the character get his side B back after he gets hit? It doesn't make any sense. There's so many characters with way better kits that can recover much easier, that get tools like this back. He should just be able to get his side B back after he's been hit off stage with it. After using it, excuse me. Doing side B into up B gives him so many more options. Up B should be buffed as well. It goes so little distance. It's actually insane. The fact that they buffed Incineroar's up B to be so much better means that you can absolutely do it for Little Mac as well, and I think that he really needs it. Outside of that, I don't think Mac needs much. If you buff his recovery, he's suddenly a significantly better character. In a game where aerials matter a lot, Mac has been able to kind of defy the meta and do a lot with his grounded mobility, utilizing neutral a lot more. I don't think this would make the character broken by any means. I do think it would improve his status in the meta at least. I think he'd be a much more fun character to play as well. Next, let's talk about Piranha Plant. This character, I don't really know what needs to happen. I'm a big fan of Piranha Plant. I think he's really funny and quirky and weird. I like the character a lot, but I'm also not sure what to do to change him. I don't think Patui needs to be changed at all. I think his neutral B is really good. I think the speed works out really, really well. Maybe improve the speed to like how long you have to keep it in suspended in the air before you get more range on it. Maybe buff that a little bit, but I think the biggest thing I would like to focus on is his side B. His Poison Cloud, I think, should last longer at all charges. I think if it stays out longer, it gives him a better chance to set up. Give him some more like zoning or trap setting type behavior here, because Piranha Plant definitely feels like a trap character that if you can utilize those traps a little bit better, then you can get more openings. And the side B just doesn't last super long. I think it's a very underutilized tool because it's just not very good. But if you have more options with it staying out longer, maybe make it a little bit bigger as well to like set up space on the stage, make people panic a little bit more, I think that could be very good for the character. I also think his tilts need to be improved across the board. Some of them are pretty good in terms of like kill power, like up tilt's very good. Down tilt doesn't have a lot of range. It doesn't really combo very well. It's kind of hard to hit because it's stubby. It's just a weird tool. Make it faster. Make side tilt connect a little bit easier. Make it a little bit better of a move overall. I think up tilt's pretty good. It could use some more range. I think it did get buffed at one point to be a little bit bigger in a hitbox. Give it even more. He's so stubby. It's so bizarre. I also think back air needs to be completely changed. Like, cut off half the end lag, because it feels like a Smash 4 move is what I've heard from most professional people. It feels like a character trapped in Smash 4. Maybe that was the case. Maybe this was developed very like early on in Smash Ultimate when they were still feeling a little bit more like Smash 4. That's likely the case here. So yeah, make back air much less laggy. It doesn't need any changes other than that because it's really strong. It's a really good move. Make it less laggy and suddenly it's a much better option. I think shaving some frames off of forward air would be also very good to make the character feel like it has a few more mix-ups so he can get to his auto-cancel window a little bit better. I think these changes would do a lot for the character who is just seen as pretty darn bad. And the last character I want to talk about is Dr. Mario, who I really love. I think Doc is really cool. I think he has some insane potential to be very good. But it makes no sense why he is so much worse than regular Mario in a lot of categories. His frame data specifically and his up B. I don't understand why his up B is the worst in the game. It's so small. It's pitiful, honestly. The fact that he doesn't get like anywhere near as much up B's height as Mario is just baffling to me. I know they wanted to differentiate the characters a little bit, but he just feels awful to play. Again, this is a character that originated back in Melee, was just a clone of Mario so they could, make more characters in the game. I think he deserves to have a little bit more differentiation and maybe a little bit more more options in terms of recovery and to make him a more meta threat, because I think he is really cool. I like seeing people bust out. Just yesterday at the Litvitational prior to Cirque du CFL 4, Louis money busted out Dr. Mario Game 3 against Tweak to actually win the game against his Diddy Kong. I think the character is so cool, but the fact that his up B is just so small is abysmal. So just double it. I think a doubling of Dr. Mario's up B would do so much for him. And then the last thing I think would be, I don't think he needs a whole lot of changes to be good. Just make his up air a little bit like less laggy. It's bizarre that Mario has all these ladder combos and Doc is just relegated to like getting a down throw into one up air. It's just a little bizarre to me. I know they wanted to make him a little bit different from Mario so he doesn't feel exactly the same. I don't care if they keep all the weird wonky hitboxes the same, like the way that they launch and everything. Just make it so I can do more than one up air combo and off of a down throw. That's all I want. So I think if they change his recovery specifically, Dr. Mario immediately becomes a much better character. And I really would like to see that because I'd like to see people push the Doc meta a little bit. But right now it's just, you can't because he's just that bad. Let me know in the comments section down below what characters you would buff. If you agree with my stuff, if you disagree, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next one.